Are you still having trouble trying to figure out where to get in on a trade? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you just that and why it may be reacting in those areas. Let's get into it. Hi, my name's John. Welcome to Supermarket FX. Here we talk about ways to simplify your trading and free you from the belief that trading can't be done. All right, today what we're going to talk about is body high, wick high, body low, wick low. Those are the areas where I expect price to change direction, if it was going to change direction. And it doesn't mean that it will, but that's what I look for. Oftentimes it can push through as well, and then I would look for a retest on that area at a later time. Now there's something else that I watch for as well that some of you might already be doing. That is looking for other potential areas where price may change direction. And where I do that are voids within the candles. These are gaps that you find between the first and the third candle. And you will notice oftentimes where you can see here, there's the wick on that candle, and there's the wick on the first candle. And in between there, you have this void, an area where price will come back up to. And it doesn't really show you, like you could see that it came up about 50% of the way on that one. Sometimes it'll fill it completely. Sometimes it'll just barely come into it and change direction. Sometimes it'll just go right past it. And I'm going to show you now. So if we take a look at everything I have drawn out, you can see that I marked the void here and here as well. And you could see how price left for days and then eventually came back up into the area before changing direction. There could have been a potential opportunity here, same as here. And if you would have managed the trade properly, you probably could have scalped something out of there as well. Coming back up to here, taps into it before changing direction. And then what else do we look at here? So I've also got wick low marked off. Structure is broken to the downside. Travels for quite some time, working its way back up, comes in, retesting the area, coming into it, changing direction, again, coming back up to it and changing direction. So there could have been some opportunity there as well. So you can see here as well, wick high, price comes down, comes back up, retests the area, goes just above it, and then changes direction. So there was a potential scalping opportunity there as well. You've got your body low here. Price comes down, pushes just below it, and changes direction and comes back up. So you could have had an opportunity there as well. And then we created a wick high here. Price pushes down, breaks above it, and retests the area before going in another direction. And you can see it as well here. So a break of structure, price comes down and retests that area before shooting up. Now these aren't very long runs, but if you're scalping the 1 minute time frame, this can be done. Now you're not always going to hit a home run out of these things, but if you're moving your stop loss to break even and you're taking partials, then ultimately this might work in your favor. you're going to have to test and decide what works best for you. You might not want to try all of these at once. Maybe you just want to test the wick highs and the wick lows, or a combination of the few. Whatever works best for you. But if you go through the charts, you'll see this over and over again. Now, there's something I want to mention as well. When you're looking at these voids here, when you're seeing price come up, now you could see that it didn't really explain why it's come up to this area. So if we take a horizontal line, we run it across, we could see, other than we could tell that it came up about 50% of the way. Now, if you take a look and we go to another time frame, so now we're on the 1 hour, and what can you see here? There's that horizontal line, and it's almost completely filled in the gap between the first and the third candle. So that's something to look into when you're paying attention. That might give you a clue on what's going on. So now, if we go back down to the 15-minute and we take a look at the other void up here, just mark the wick high there. See, now we drop down to what we're looking at is the 45-minute time frame. And again, what do we see? Price pretty well filled that whole area, that whole void. But when you're looking at the 15-minute time frame, it doesn't look the same. So it's hard to understand why did it change direction there. But you can see on the 45-minute, it basically filled that whole area in before it decided to go in another direction. So keep that in mind when you're looking at your trading and picking areas. This will be something that you'll need to back test. All right, so we've seen potential areas where price may change direction. The previous highs or lows. So we're looking at the wicks or the bodies. Sometimes price will actually go through it and then return back to that area at a later time. And at that point, you're looking for a trading opportunity on the 1 minute. And if it gives you the pattern that you're looking for to get in the trade, it isn't going to happen all the time. But patience will be important with this one. Checking out voids as well. These are potential opportunities, so watch them on the chart, do some back testing, and you'll see that this happens over and over. Now, oftentimes you could see that it will come in 25% of the void, or 50%, sometimes even fill it. And what you can do, as we were showing on this, that on the 1 minute and the 45-minute, they gave potential clues on where price was going before it decided to change direction. So you might be able to use that for fine-tuning your scalping. So you're giving you a smaller stop loss and a better risk to reward. And when you're going through all these opportunities, and if we look at this, we can see that from the first one here, we were almost 4 days and 6 opportunities, potential opportunities that were there. And They happen at different times. You can see here 10:15, 18:45, 6:45, 2200, 1900, 1300. So it doesn't matter what time you look at the charts. There's always opportunities. It happens all the time. And this is just one pair. So if you have a handful of pairs that you're watching, you're going to get opportunities and you're not going to get them all. And maybe all these strategies aren't that interesting to you. Maybe it's too much for you. Maybe you just want to pick one thing out of this or two things and then just stick with that. Because the more things that you add into it, the more confusing it could make it. The more losses you could take in a row. So try this and see how it works for you. Back test this. If you have TradingView, the bar replay feature is an amazing tool to use and will help speed up the process of back testing anything that you want to do. And you can see here there was no indicators, nothing on here, no moving averages, no Fibonacci's, no jumping onto three other time frames. We just kept the chart bare, clean as can be, just marking off potential areas where price may react. And then when price comes into those areas, you're just going down to the 1 minute time frame and you're watching for specific patterns on your candles. And if those happen, you get in on the trade and you manage it after you get in. So you move your stop loss to break even and you take partials along the way to your take profit. And doing so, even losing trades could be potentially as partially profitable. So instead of taking a loss, you made a small amount off of it. So in the long run, this will work out better for you. So you need to test this. I would suggest demo testing it before you do anything. And a real great feature, which is what I use as well, is the FTMO challenge demo account. So the 2-week challenge account, you test out your ability out and you will see if this works for you. It may take some time to get used to this and comfortable with this method, but if you keep working at it, you'll get better at it. And don't jump to something else because you had a couple days where it didn't work out well for you. You might run into a run of losses, which will trigger most people to jump to something else and go to the next YouTube channel that talks about the 99% win rate. Just stick with this and practice it, and then practice it some more, and you will see that this does work. It doesn't work all the time. Nothing does. But test it out and let me know how it's working for you. If you have any questions, I try to respond back to any messages I get. Good luck trading, and signing off for now.